What's shaking YouTube? It's your boy Graybeard Gamer, and today we have another tip video for you. I think it's going to be the best one to date. Today we're going to talk about the 3 types of deaths that get you killed in Black Ops 4 and how to prevent those deaths as best you can. But before we get into that, make sure you smack that like button. If it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We got lots of tip videos, best class setups, gun reviews, anything and everything that we can do to make you the best Black Ops 4 player that you can be. But without any further ado, gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump into the tips. Right now in the Black Ops 4 life cycle, there are really 2 types of players that are watching YouTube videos for improvement. There's the average or a little bit above average player that's looking for a little boost to improve and get them to that next level. And then there's players that are really struggling or playing inconsistently, and they're looking for every advantage they can get in every match and every gunfight. Well, I'm going to tell you how to change your way of thinking today so that you're not thinking about kills as much as how to avoid deaths. In Call of Duty, especially Black Ops 4, but really any Call of Duty installment, our mindset is to get more kills. That's where our focus is at. I mean, you think about it. It's rewarded through nuclear medals or brutal, ruthless, relentless, merciless, bloodthirsty, all those medals that reward kills, so we don't actually analyze how we're dying. And what I noticed when I went back in and looked at theater mode for me is I was dying a lot of the same way every time. So the first thing I want you to think about, or the first way that you're dying, is a lack of preparation. So when you go into a match, think back before you go into this match, before you hit that enter match or select match button. And I want you to think about how often you die to things like seeker mines and things like that. And then look at your classes. If you're not setting yourself up with tac mask to help you alleviate some of that, then you're setting yourself up for failure before you get into the match. If you're rounding corners and you're not pre-aiming those corners and pre-aiming doorways, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's a lack of preparation, and you're going to continue to get the same results. So you have to prepare to alleviate or eliminate the ways that you most commonly die. The second type of death. These are deaths from lack of awareness. Do you know where the enemies are spawning at? Do you know where you have teammate support? Are you aware of the score streaks in the sky? Does the enemy team have a UAV up? Are you aware of the minimap, how it works, and how to read the minimap to your advantage? These are all things that are going to get you killed because of your lack of awareness. When you go into a gunfight, you round a corner and you know there's an enemy there. Do you know exactly how many enemies are there, or have a pretty good idea of how many enemies are there? That's the thing, you have to be aware. Because when I look back on a lot of my deaths when I was trying to improve, I would notice that I would round a corner to engage an enemy in a gunfight to find there's 2 or 3 versus 1. Because I wasn't aware of where the enemies were spawning at. I didn't have many map awareness. I wasn't giving myself every opportunity to win that gunfight. I was kind of being reckless and jumping out wide in the open and dying a lot. So you want to make sure that you have the map awareness and the game awareness and where are my teammates at. Because if you do that, if you allow your teammates to engage in those gunfights with you, you're going to avoid these type of deaths and you're going to see the improvement come. The last type of death we're going to talk about that is happening in Black Ops 4 is unavoidable deaths, or difficult to avoid deaths. They're not completely unavoidable. In some instances they are, but you can take some measures to try to avoid them, but they're difficult to avoid deaths. And these are things like lightning strikes and basically score streak deaths. So that's why the awareness is very important, because that will help you avoid some of these deaths, because typically the announcer will call out if there's an incoming lightning strike or there's an attack chopper in the sky. These are things that you need to be aware of. You have to take extra precautions to avoid. You can't be as aggressive in order to avoid these deaths. You kind of have to stay inside or take cover. You have to be smart. So you have to retreat when you hear a lightning strike is inbound or attack choppers in the sky or a sniper's nest is above. Those are things you have to be aware of, because these are more difficult deaths to avoid. Ultimately, guys, it boils down to this. Spend less time focusing on your victories and more time focusing on the things that are holding you back. The senseless deaths, the deaths that you could prevent, the things that you can do to improve to avoid those going forward. Because ultimately, celebrating your victories is not going to make you any better. Analyzing your defeats and your deaths in Black Ops 4 will not only make you better, it'll teach you to avoid those. Your kill-death ratio is going to improve. Your gun skill is going to improve by proxy. You're going to be a better overall player. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tip video. I'm telling you, it will help you out. Pay attention to it. Go back in theater mode. Look at your deaths. Figure out why you're dying most and do everything you can to avoid those types of deaths. You'll be just fine. Coming to the end of the tips video, fellas. My name is Graybeard Gamer. Thanks for watching. Smack the like button. Subscribe if it's your first time here. And I'm out.